All right, guys, how are you? How are you? How are you? Hope all is well. And I hope you are having a good day, a good week, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and everything. And give yourself a round of applause. Just figured I'd say that. But today we're going to talk about the CAGED system and how to not be locked into the CAGED system. Okay. And when I'm talking about the CAGED system, I'm talking about guitar chords. All right. So let's go over these shapes. And I know that we typically, many of us are familiar with what many guitar instructors have already shared. Okay. And these are open chords, chords that do not require using a capo, but you can incorporate the capo and so on and so forth. So let's actually just get into it. Okay. So the CAGED system, I could define it as a set of 5 chords, which is CAGED, spells caged. Okay, and I'm like, I don't know if you could say metaphorically, saying that I don't want you to be caged into this approach. But at the same time, it is very useful. So anyway, starting off with CAGED, this is a cool way to memorize chord shapes, major chord shapes. These are good shapes to actually start off with, okay? So let's go ahead and get into the initial, like the very first one. And I start off with C, okay? And we're basically going to spell the word, all right? So right here, what you see before you is an actual C chord, like an open C chord, okay? Let me straighten this up a little bit. So yeah, this is a C, an open C chord. Now, what I mean by open C is that there are some notes that you're actually not going to fret, and there are some notes that are actually open, okay? Basically tuned to the, like the string. So this being the high E, this is on the B string, G string, D string, okay? So the high E string, you're not fretting anything. The B string, you're doing the first fret basically. Okay. G string, you're not fretting anything. D, second fret. A string, third fret. The E string, you're actually not even playing that. Okay. So let's keep that part in mind. So you could actually take the tip of your finger that you're fretting this third fret with, and you can mute the low E string. Okay. All right. So let me demonstrate how you play that. Okay. Maybe I should move my mic out of the way, right? So anyway, I think that's fine. Okay, so notice index finger is on that first fret, all right? And then nothing is being played on the E. That's open. So when I say open, nothing is being fretted on that string. But on the second string, all right, that third string up, which is the G string, nothing is there. On the next one, second fret. On the fifth string up. Okay, and that's it. All right. So that's pretty much how you play that chord. Now, these chords are really simple to remember, but I'll say that once you actually get it under your belt and you're actually able to move between the chords, then it'll be a good basis to start to incorporate some other things in, okay? So now let's go to the A, because we're spelling the word caged. So now we're on A. All right, so as you can see, E is open, okay? On B, G, and D strings, second fret. Now, when you play these, oh, and you definitely want to play the A. Keep the E open, as far as not open, but don't even play the E. Okay. Now, as far as how to play it, there are some charts have numbers on them because it's telling you what fingers to actually use to actually fret, you know, the notes. So one way that you can do it is like this. Okay. Notice I'm muting the E string. Okay. So you can flatten, like the key is just basically in that second fret on those strings, the key is just to simply play it, okay? Now notice when I do this, it actually mutes the string under it, so it's better for me to do this. So my pinky is on the second fret on the B string, ring finger, second fret, G string, then D string, I'm using my middle finger. And it all gets in there. Now I can use my pinky. My pinky still kind of gets in the way of this high E string though, okay? So just keep that in mind. There are different ways to actually play the chords. Okay, you're not locked into one way of playing it. So maybe that's good for some, maybe that's not maybe it's not good for some. So, but just keep that in mind though. Let me turn my mic up a little bit. Okay, so let's actually move on to the next chord. Move on to the next one. So this is G. All right, so with this G major, all of the chords are major chords. You can see that the low and high E strings are both on the third fret. And the A string is the second fret. All right, so how do you play this? Like this. And keep in mind, if you're playing a note, you know, you can pretty much notice within this fret, I'm not necessarily over here or over here. I'm not playing on top of the fret wire. I'm playing in between, which is considered the fret. See this? Some people do this. That don't do nothing. Okay? Now, if you do this, that does bend it. But this, that does nothing. And I've said on other videos, because I was just basically helping a student to get a note out, I said, you know, push it all the way to the neck or all the way to the wood. And someone commented and it was like, you don't have to push it all the way. I know that. That's what I was telling that student what they needed to hear to get the note out. But you really only have to press it just on top of the fret wire in order to get the note out. But some of you have high action where the strings are sitting up high from the neck, and it's causing you to have to push harder than you have to. So anyway, this is how you, all those other notes are open, okay? All of those other notes are open. And please feel free to comment if you have any questions. And I didn't mention this at first, but this is more so a beginner lesson. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. All right, so let's go to the next one. The next one is E major. All right, so the high E and B are both open. G, first fret, D and A, second fret, E, you want to strum that open, okay? How do you play it? Here's how you play it. All right, and notice the way that I'm illustrating the fretboard is basically me looking down on the fretboard like this, okay? The way you're seeing it is a certain way, and the way I'm seeing it as the one holding the guitar is the way that you see the actual fretboard, okay? Like this is how a guitar player is looking down on the guitar neck. The guitar illustrations that are right side up or up and down, I don't get why those are even used, to be quite honest with you. I think it confuses people. So that's why I use these for the most part. I use the other ones sometimes, but this is the format that I use. Horizontal in the position like you're looking down at the guitar neck, okay? All right, again, leave questions if you have questions, and feel free, well, and I'll basically answer your questions in the comments, okay? So yeah, so next we actually have D major. And this is how you play D major. All right, so you're really only playing the higher 4 strings, okay? The low strings, you're not playing. The A and E strings, you're not playing at all. So you can actually mute those like this. But yeah, I put my hand right here. All right, and let me actually come here to show you. And you don't have to mute them, but it's just so that it doesn't. You just. All right. So that's pretty much how you do that. Okay. So that's how you play those shapes. Memorize those shapes. Don't make it too deep. Just memorize the shapes. That's it. Memorize the shapes. Get very familiar with the shapes, because anytime you hear a guitar instructor say, you know, you're playing this type of shape or that type of shape, they may be referring to the CAGED system as a reference. But just keep in mind, they may not literally be calling it the chord that it is, okay? Now, so if you do not have a capo and you're just playing chords and they're saying, okay, play your C shape, that's your C shape right there. That's the chord, you know. Play your G shape, play your A shape, play your E shape, play your D shape. All right, now if you have a capo, there are some guitar instructors who will still say, all right, capo on the 3rd fret, capo on the 3rd fret, and let me do it like this. And you're going to play your C shape. And you're going to play your A shape. You're going to play your E. You know, they'll give you those references, but if you are using this capo, you may be playing the shape, but that doesn't mean that it's the actual chord. Okay? So just understand it is a way to quickly reference how to land your chords, and it's a quick reference. Okay, just know that if someone is speaking to you and they're stating terminology and they're wanting you to navigate around the guitar quickly, it's just one way to navigate around the guitar. Okay, knowing your shapes based on the CAGED system, but the guitar instructor will likely mention this is using the CAGED system. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Understand that if you hear a guitar instructor say, play this shape or that shape, they're typically referring to the CAGED system. Okay, or just, you know, figure out or find out whether or not they're using that. Okay. So yeah, if they're using a capo and they're playing major shapes, they're probably referencing the CAGED system. Otherwise, you know, there are other shapes available. Okay, just keep that in mind. So that's just something to pay attention to. I'm going to put it back in my 3rd fret. I'm going to put this back in my 3rd fret. So understand that the farther up these frets go, these are different notes, okay? And I have videos showing you what these notes are. But based on where this capo is, based on where it is, and based on where I'm playing the C shape with the capo at the 3rd fret. But the chord that I'm playing is an E flat major. So just keep that in mind. Now, The benefits of this is that you can easily transpose using this capo. You can put it up as far as you want to put it down as further as you want to put it, and play the same shapes and basically get different results. You get different sounds. But also know that you don't have to use the capo, and you can use your hand, and you can use your finger for the bar, okay, to do bar chords. And then you can still use the CAGED system. That's still the E flat major, and I'm using the C shape, okay? But don't get locked into that, okay? Just understand that's the shape that it is. Memorize the shapes, memorize how to reference the shapes. But once you do that, do not stay locked into that. It's just a way to start. Okay, but just know that you can use those shapes. You can use your finger to actually bar these, okay? And here's the G shape. Here's the A shape. Here is the E shape. And I can do that in different places over here. Here's the E shape up here. Here's the C shape right here. Here's the G shape. Here's the D shape, okay? And I'm using my index finger as the capo, all right? Those are called bar chords, in other words. So that's something to help you to understand. Some people don't actually fill in the gaps of their understanding of like, what is he talking about, or what is this instructor talking about? Just know to start, you learn your shapes at first based on the CAGED system. It's just a good way to get started. That's really it, okay? If you're playing in the open position, those are the literal chords. But if you're using a capo or you're doing bar chords, understand that those are different chords. You're just naming the shape in terms of the actual hand position, okay? I hope this made sense. So I'm going to just reiterate, it's a good way to start. But I know I named this video something like, don't be caged, or uncage yourself. Uncage yourself. Be free from the understanding of the tool that is just a good start. It's just a good start. All right. And so we're going to actually build on to this understanding. And again, this is mainly for like beginners to get started. I also teach intermediate as well as advanced players. So just keep in mind what I'm saying, and don't overthink it. Just, okay, cool. That's the C shape, just G, cool. Don't be afraid of memorizing, okay? Just learn it, have it under your belt, and keep it moving from there, all right? I hope that this helps somebody, and if it was not helpful for somebody, you know, maybe you just have a different way of learning that particular concept. But the disadvantages is that someone could confuse and say they could play a C shape and think that it's actually a C major, and it's not. Okay, so that's pretty much what I have. You know, feel free to do all the things, you know, comment if you want to. You know, if you want to share with somebody, share with somebody. If you want to, you know, be a part of the community, be a part of the community. All right. So, yeah. So now maybe you've learned something new. If you have learned something new, give yourself a round of applause. Please do. Okay. And I'll see y'all on the next video. Okay. It won't be that long before I post again. And let's say, like, you know, on my lives, I typically do my lives like Tuesdays, Fridays, Saturdays. And just check in and see if I'm on. All right. And let me know if you need something. Let me know if you want to learn something on the beginner, intermediate, as well as advanced levels. All righty. I love y'all. I'll see you later. Let me know if you have questions. Peace.